What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We working on the property all day today. I actually just changed my shirt and ate some dinner, and we're back here again. And I want to talk to you about tower blinds, how to access them, and how to, tips on where to set them at, because I see a lot of people and I get a lot of questions about this topic, because people like hunting out tower blinds. And I'll be honest with you, this is the first tower blind I've ever owned, ever sat out of, really. I was never a huge fan of them up until about 3-4 years ago. I started hunting out of the Sad Daddy blinds, and they're great blinds. A lot of different companies make them. I like the Sad Daddies from Joey Bruce. But when you're setting these things up, you have to be able to access them. And one of the worst things you could possibly do is set them out directly out on the edge of the field, in your food plot. I see this all the time now. For instance, if you were setting it out in the food plot and you had, access to that blind where you could, say you had Egyptian wheat on both sides or switchgrass or something, to where you could sneak up behind that, behind the blind and get into the backside, climb up and get in without being detected, then yeah, that could be an option. But in majority of cases, that's not really not going to be the situation. A lot of times you're going to take them blinds, set them off the plot, back into the timber a little bit, so they blend in, and you set them there long enough for the deer to get used to them, and you want to be able to access them from the backside. And I'll show you, I'll set up differently here, and I'll show you on the backside how we access it. Walk right down this fire road here. We just walk down here. It's all blocked off all through there. And what we do is we just slip in right through here. We walk through here. We turn this way as we walk up here. Blinds right here. We have all the brush out in front of us there. We can just get up here, climb right on up, and we can get in. But with this situation, we're in the corner of a 3-acre field, and this tower blind is mainly for rifle hunting and muzzleloader hunting. I don't bow hunt out of it. It's just for gun hunting. I take my buddy TJ here. He likes hunting out of it as well. You guys, there's several hunts where he's actually killed a few deer out of here. I think I've killed 3, and it's been a pretty successful setup. But we've taken this blind, and the field's out in front of me about, I'd say 15 yards. Then we have all this high grass and high weeds and stuff where I'm standing. And then we have some pine trees and stuff, and we set that back in, and we actually have some deadfalls you guys can see here that we've piled up kind of in front of it. And when you go out there about 75, 100 yards, it's kind of hard to see a little bit because it blends in. And out in front here, we actually have a strip of incognito, which is Egyptian wheat, that wraps around the front side of this food plot here. And that's going to grow up 10 feet as well. And when we're sitting in the blind, you have just enough, you can see angled down, you can see over top that Egyptian wheat, and you can hunt this entire 3-acre field with a rifle. And we access this through the back side. When we come up, we walk down a logging road, we walk right up into the steps, and you can climb into the blind and get set up. We've had deer out here multiple times, and they never know you're there. This brush acts as some cover to where if you were walking up the back side, deer can't see in there. Also, you got the Egyptian wheat as mentioned. Deer can't see through that, so kind of acts as a sound barrier as well. And you can hunt this thing. You can come in here anytime you want. You just walk down the fire road, get in there, and you can hunt this entire field. It's a great setup. And you don't want to set these out in the middle of the food plot, because deer aren't, most cases, they're going to, they associate these things with danger. It's kind of like ground blinds as well. When you have ground blind, you want to brush them things in as best as you possibly can, because, they stick out like a sore thumb if they're not brushed in, and deer see that, and they they associate this stuff. I've talked about this many times. They associate that, you know, they see things like that, and you know, especially have 2, 3, 4 deer together in a group. Somebody shoots a bow out of that blind. Well, guess what? Those other 3 deer now associate that type of, you know, environment with danger. So when they see them, they get spooky. Same thing with this. You know, you can see that the top part of it a little bit when you go out there, but it's been here for several years. I don't overhunt it. I don't pressure the area, so they don't really associate this with danger. You know, we've had, you know, a dozen deer out in the field. They don't even look at you. I think last winter, I was hunting it, and I had like 4 bucks. It was snowing out. Had 4 bucks and like 6 does walk 20 yards behind me, which I was kind of, you know, impressed about, because they were 20 yards behind the blind, just walking right by, not a care in the world. And it's just, you know, a combination of pressure and, you know, keeping them off the field, and you know, you can have great success with it. Like I said, I just started hunting out of, you know, elevated blinds 3, 4 years ago, and you know, it's not my favorite way of hunting, but it's just another tool in the toolbox to add to multiple different ways of hunting. You know, ground blind hunting, elevated tower blind hunting, tree stand hunting. You know, my favorite method for, you know, bow hunting is a you know, a hang-on stand. You know, I also like ground blind hunting. But these tower blinds, man, when I'm rifle hunting and it's cold out, I just climb up in there, and it's just a different type of setup, a different environment. You can get away with a little bit more movement in there, and it's a fun setup. So, you know, when positioning these things, just make sure two main things: set them off the field, set them back in the timber a little bit, and make sure you can access them through the backside. Stick some brush up in there, so that way you can climb up in there and not be detected. So if you guys have any questions, post them down below. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.